Hey everybody, welcome back. This is our final lecture for this chapter. So after you're done with this set of notes, please make sure you turn in your notes. So today we're looking at the scientific revolution. We're going to be talking about changes in terms of like various branches of science. So go ahead and get your notes out and let's get started. So this is the final break from Europe's medieval past. With all this new thinking due to the printing press and the Reformation and the Renaissance, there's new thinkings about the physical universe. Well, there's a lot when it comes to astronomy first. Um, Nicholas Copernicus, a Polish scholar, published the idea of a heliocentric theory where the sun was the center of the universe. Prior to this, this was against Ptolemy and Aristotle, classical thinkers who thought the Earth was the center of our solar system. It's not. The sun is the center. Um, you also have Tycho Brahe, a Danish astronomer who provided evidence, established one of the first observatories. And then you have Johannes Kepler, who used Brahe's data to support Copernicus. Also developed the idea of an ellipse or an oval-shaped orbit. You'll actually read a lot more about Kepler later on after notes today. Also, we have Galileo. So honors kids, you'll be doing a reading about him. He invented the telescope. His observations contradicted ancient views and church teachings. He was around during the time of the Inquisition and and he said, and yet it moves. Like he heavily defended his beliefs and like his discoveries till the end. So you may have seen this in science class already, but the scientific method is also being developed at this point. It's inspired by Plato, a student of Socrates and teacher of Aristotle. It's basically the idea of looking beyond the appearance of things and that math is the key to truth. It's basically how truth is determined. It's the end of investigations. It's rejecting the ideas of Aristotle, and it's challenging the church because the physical world was made to fit the teachings of the church. Now it's like, well, in reality, this is why this does what it does. So some other thinkers, we have Francis Bacon. I'm going to move that up there. Oh, no. He conducted a lot of experiments. He was very much into observations and developed practical technologies to make life better. We also have René Descartes, who put forward the ideas of human reason, provable knowledge, and the idea of doubt, that in order for something to be proven, you couldn't question it. It was basically that everybody should be a rational thinking being. So to throw in some Latin, cogito ergo sum, or basically I think, therefore I am. That's basically Descartes' thing, is like, no, we're rational human beings. We can use logic to solve a problem. And at the end of the day, in order to solve it, you can't have any doubt at the end of it. So again, the scientific method, you've talked about this in science, or you will be, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. It's a step-by-step process of discovery based on observation and experimentation. The big thing to keep in mind here is the idea of the hypothesis, or a logical or possible explanation. That's basically like the question that you're wanting to test. You'll then conduct experiments, collect the data, draw conclusions, share that data, and the biggest thing is repeat it. That way your ideas are like, it's not a fluke. If you can prove that result multiple times, that's what you're going to do. Moving on to medicine, we have Andreas Vesalius, who's inspired by Galen, solved a lot of errors in human anatomy, provided a very accurate and detailed human anatomy by studying autopsies. We also have Ambrose Pare, basically the father of modern surgery, and who utilized ointments to prevent infection. Now, that being said, anesthesia doesn't exist yet, so I would not want to get surgery in this era. No, no, no. No. No, thank you. We also have William Harvey, who described the circulation of blood and like basically our entire circulatory system, and Anton von Leeuwenhoek, who perfected the microscope. He was the first human to see cells and microorganisms, which that is really cool, being able to see those for the first time. Moving on to chemistry, we have Sir Robert Boyle. Chemistry, previously known by its original name, alchemy, basically the manipulation of metals and acids. And this is the idea that individual elements versus chemical compounds, along with studying the effects of pressure and temperature on gases. Like I said, you'll talk a lot more about a lot of this stuff in physical science this year. So to wrap things up, we have Sir Isaac Newton. Again, gravity, single force keeps the planets in their orbits around the sun. the apple, drop it, and hit him on the head. There's also his 3 laws of motion and mechanics. Basically, his ideas was that nature follows uniform laws, that motion can be measured and described with math, and that math being calculus, being used to explain Newton's laws. That is the big thing to keep in mind here. All right, that is it for notes. Like I said, regular world history, you're going to do a reading on Kepler. Honors, you have a reading on Galileo. Both classes, you have your review guide to work on. Your test is next time. Please also make sure you turn in your notes. I'll see y'all next time. Bye, everybody.